What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon, and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are talking about Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. I recently read her newest book, Loveless. Absolutely adored it. Probably one of my favorite books ever now, so I immediately went to the bookstore, and I was like, I have to see if they even carry her books, because she's a British author. I didn't know if I'd be able to find them. They had exactly one copy of one of her books, and that was this one, so that's why I decided to read this one next. So, Radio Silence is about a girl named Frances and a boy named Aled. They live across the street from each other. They actually have a common friend in Aled's twin sister, Karis, who has mysteriously disappeared, but they've never really interacted much. They're not in the same grade, they don't go to the same school, they are both very studious and kind of keep to themselves, but they start to bond over their shared love of this internet podcast called Universe City. And what I really liked about this story was showing how these two come together. Like with Frances, she is very clever, she's very studious, she's the head girl, she's bound, for Cambridge, and she's gonna get a great job and have lots of money and be very happy. But it's very clear from the very first part of this book, the very first sentence, that that's not really what she wants. It's just what she thinks she's supposed to want. And she has these two identities. She has who she is at school, and then she has who she is at home. And nobody really knows who the real Frances is. She doesn't really have any friends that she's ever let get that close to her. And the same thing is kind of happening with Aled. He's somebody who is also very quiet. He is very smart. He's also bound for some pretty great colleges, but he's not sure if he wants that. And we see throughout the book that he's trying to tell people who he really is and what he really wants, but nobody seems to be listening. That's kind of the theme here. On the cover of the book, it says, "Hello, I hope somebody is listening." And that's the tagline for this podcast. But really, with Frances, it's, I hope you're listening. I hope you're paying attention, because Aled needs help. As the book goes on, things kind of start to get real. We learn a lot of things about him and what he's going through, and maybe where his mental health is at, and his mom's a little bit crazy, and things really build. And I really felt like I was Frances. I really felt like I was in her shoes, seeing all of this happen, learning all of these things about school and academics and all of that. And I really love the way that Alice Oseman allows you to do that. I felt that with Loveless as well, so that was really cool to see here. Once again, I wish I could have found this book a lot sooner. One of the big themes in it is about how you're told certain things, you are supposed to be successful and get good grades and go to college and get a great job and get married and be happy and all this kind of stuff. That's the path for you. But so often, that's not the way that things go, and it can be really hard to reconcile that, maybe you don't want that life, or maybe that's not the way your life is going to go. I really liked exploring that with Loveless, because it was, through her asexuality, and with Frances, it's with her kind of realizing that, maybe, this future that she's been told she's supposed to want isn't actually what she wants to do. And I like that by the end of this book, we are exploring avenues for, hey, maybe your life isn't exactly gonna look like that. And once again, if I can get real for a minute, I stressed a lot the whole time I was in college, because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, and I felt like I was failing. I felt like I was doing everything wrong, and I still feel that sometimes. I tried to move out and it didn't work. I tried to move out again and it didn't work, and I found that I didn't want to move out. I wanted to be living at home, and I felt like I wasn't supposed to want those things. I felt like I was supposed to go to school far away and be on my own and this, that, and the other thing. And it's just not really what I wanted for myself. And I was miserable. I've been a lot happier, being home and working this job that I love, which I can't work right now because of the coronavirus. But it's not the life that I think people, assume you're supposed to have or assume you're supposed to want. But I have been so much happier with it, kind of going at my own pace. And I think this book really is trying to tell you that. If I could have read this going into college, or even while I was in college, I think it really would have helped me a lot. So I'm really glad that it's out there and it exists for people. We also have a lot of really good queer representation in this. There are a lot of different sexualities, including asexuality, which I wasn't expecting, but still really, really appreciated. I really, really liked it. But we also explore an agender character as well, which was really fun. I kind of wish we could have gone into it just a little bit more, when we we were talking about identities and like how Frances is feeling and how Alette is feeling and all this kind of stuff. I wish we could have just dug just a little bit deeper, but for what it was, I did really like it. And once again, we're exploring lots of different types of relationships. Maybe they're not necessarily romantic, but platonic relationships can be just as deep and just as strong. I really loved seeing that again. And I really love all of the different ethnicities, like all sorts of walks of life are represented in this book. And it's just very, very awesome to see. I am only giving it an A- just because I think it gets off to kind of a slow start. Once things start hitting and like the angst really starts to set in, like I got really obsessed and I was like reading and like wanted to keep going, but it was a slow start. I think it's because like this is the second book she's ever written, and then coming off of Loveless, which is her most recent book, it just like the writing was a little bit different, so that's probably more on me. It's still a fabulous read, still highly recommend it, just saying it's a little bit of a slow start. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can talk books with me every week. That is everything I got for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!